So we open attack. We've got the Fury of the North. 80 LP Diamond. Give it to me, baby. Last game to Masters. No. Don't do this. Don't do this. It's literally Pokey Stick and Decimate, dude. My guy. You're killing me. Oh, no. He knows he's literally just making us sweat here. Come on, man.
Hey guys, what's up? So, as a lot of you guys know, I recently got back from a pretty long break from streaming in general and Runeterra. I played a bunch of the new PvE mode, Path of Champions, and recently just played ranked for the first time in a while. I, of course, was Plat 4 because I literally hadn't touched a ranked game for what, like a month and a half. Most of that was just not playing any game in general because I was literally moving house. But when I got back, I decided, you know what, we're gonna do an old-fashioned climbing to master stream. And like every season, I wanted to take a deck that was, you know, generally speaking, not considered high tier, because a lot of like high tier decks, you're already like, I've already made like optimized versions, which you can find on swimstream.com in the decks and meta section. But for Masters climbs, I like to take things a little bit more irregular, and this time I decided to climb to Masters with Poros. Now, Poros is not an easy deck to play. In fact, it's a deceptively difficult deck to play. So I wanted to make this video as a sort of kind of like partially a guide to Poros, partially a way to chronicle my climb to Masters this season from Plat 4, and partially as just a general gameplay guide for a lot of new or intermediate players that want to take their game to the next level. I promise you, if you watch this video and you're listening to what I'm saying as I talk about how to think about the game, you will become a significantly better player no matter what rank you're at. Now, I used my own old build of Poros that I made from scratch. I modified it with some of the new cards and tools that we've had since then, and voila, we've got this build. Now, this is the deck that I ended up on, kind of like the final version. I used different versions because, of course, I'm always changing cards as I'm, you know, playing the deck more and learning more about kind of like the meta and what I need to function. So throughout this video, you're going to see slightly different builds of the deck, but this is the final version, and it's the one that I would recommend if you guys are interested in playing it. There's a link to the page in the pinned comment, as always, if you want to pick it up yourself, although I highly recommend watching this video before doing that, because as mentioned, it's very difficult to play and very counterintuitive. You know, for example, like keeping the 1 mana cards in the opening hand is going to lose people so many games. You basically never want to do that. But despite all that, we were able to climb to Masters in 2 short days from Plat 4 to Masters with a 73% win rate, which is pretty good for a Masters climb. It's something that I think a lot of people wouldn't expect Poros to be able to do. Don't get me wrong, if I was using a high tier deck like my build of Zed Poppy, I'd be able to have over an 80% win rate. Individual win rate is different from like ladder statistical win rate. It's a completely different metric, but 73% win rate is great overall for what is considered a low tier deck on a Masters climb. And that's not just because this is a very refined version of Poros, which it is. I can guarantee you this is the best build of Poros that I guess anyone has ever built, which isn't even saying that much because I think I'm the only competitive player that's even touched Poros. I'm the only player that I know of that's brought Poros to a tournament, for example. The reason I was able to climb with such a high win rate with this deck is because it's a deck that challenges fundamentals. You have to be thinking about, you know, the clock, the turns to kill. You have to be planning many turns ahead in advance, and you'll see a lot of examples of that during the games that I talk about and explain all my plays really thoroughly. And that's why this video is perfect for anyone, not even just learning to play Poros, but learning to take their games the next level in every way. This video will teach fundamentals of Runeterra very well, and hopefully you guys will be able to take away some stuff from it. Anyway, a few quick things before we actually jump into the games. There's so many exceptions to any rules I could possibly state here. As you'll see from the games, the mulligans I do every game are completely dependent on the matchup. The way we play out individual turns are completely dependent on the matchup. You will see me do very different things based on the different hand states of the matchups, but for the most part, you're going to be hard mulliganing for Poro snacks. In slow matchups, Aurora Borealis, you can keep patched Poro bot. Pretty much everything else in your mulligan needs to go because the crux of the deck is, of course, Poro snacks. Station Archivist is a very powerful tool to be able to find Poro snacks in the top 5 cards of your deck and give you deck information because it shows you the spells in your deck, and that's something I track in every single game I play. I memorize all the spells that shows me, the order it shows me in, and that's a valuable information. but you only want to play it when you have 6 or more total mana, because you want to be able to use Poros snacks if you draw it off of it. Although it's great to find Poro Cannon, or even find something as a Poro Cannon discard target. And Ambush is a great new addition to the list. If you've seen some of the older Poro builds that I've made, Ambush is a way to close out games. Poros want elusive because they have big stats and other elusives, and you are often adding cards to your hands via, I mean, pretty much everything, but like, you know, Three Sisters, Aurora Borealis, Station Archivist makes a really nice pocket. When you pull the Ambush off of Station Archivist herself, it's a 5 mana 5/3 elusive, basically just as an inherent pocket combo that will always enable Ambush, and she will always enable a target for Ambush herself at the very least, which is really, really efficient. The last thing is that Iterative Improvement is super flexible. Great card. Often you're hitting Patched Poro bot, but you can hit Station Archivist, Fabled Poro, Daring Poro, often for elusive, and even on a lot of board states where you're double snacksing, using it on Lonely Poro is great. It's a problem solver card and it can copy anything. Don't ever feel bad about using it. Even Icefell Archer is a good hit with it. And then we've got the final card that seems a little bit counterintuitive to use, which is Patched Porobot. This is a core card. It's often going to be rolling Lifesteal or Tough for maximum value, but in matchups where you need to put the pressure on, you're happy to take anything that is not really going to allow the opponent block value elusive, or in the early game fearsome or quick attack. That's the basic rundown of the deck. There's so many exceptions to a lot of the other things I could say on top of that, but most of what I just said will generally be true. And with that, now that we have an idea how the deck works, without further ado, let's start the games. So here is the Masters Climb for this season. I'm very excited for you guys because this is one hell of a climb. Hope you guys enjoy, and I'll see you guys next time. Okay, Ezreal TF. Wow, there's a blast from the past. So we always keep snacks in literally every matchup. Hilariously enough, there are some matchups where you don't keep double snacks. Against like super aggressive stuff, sometimes you have to mulligan second snacks, which is like sad. But you always keep first snacks, and you pretty much always keep second snacks. Definitely don't need Iceville Archer in a matchup like this. Archivist isn't bad. Ezreal TF does kind of put you on a bit of a clock, and Archivist is more of an outgrind card. Like, I'd really like to get some more early pressure, and I have 3 Archivists. I'll just draw another one, you know? Yo, thanks for this up, Gerger G0113 and David Jonian. Not let my 1/1 get thermo beamed. This is a kind of like it's not a super outgrind value oriented matchup, but it's a matchup where I don't want my units to die to random bullshit, because this Poro is already a 2/2, right, because of the stacks in my hand. So playing it into a 1-mana thermo beam is just a misplay. I could play the cannon now, pressure 4 damage. I could also play Archivist and see if it pulls a snacks. I think I'll wait. I think a big misplay people are going to make with Archivist in this deck is they're going to play it too early. Easy burst pass. See what he does. There's an interesting logic behind Archivist, by the way. Honestly, against Teemo, against Ezreal, I'll take the snacks now. If he passes, I will burn his mana. Because we're in an interesting position. Ezreal TF is normally a bit of a tempo-oriented deck. Yeah, I'm burning that shit, homie. They have a bit of pressure. He's got a slow start. We just burned 3 of his mana, and we've got more snacks in our hand. And what that means is we don't need to let our Poros die to these Mystic shots, right? We can just play them after the 3/3s or 4/4s and then just win the game off of that. So here we have the ability to just go up to the casual 10-card hand with Aurora Borealis. It would force out a Poro, but I think that's fine because we would like to start putting pressure on him at some point. Merchant makes sense. Yeah, I mean, it kind of had to be Merchant there, didn't it? So normally I'd like to block that with a Lonely Poro. We have a 10-card hand and 1 mana, so that would involve a hand burn on my part, which I'm kind of okay with. We have a pretty made hand. I want to point out, people really overrate like how bad it is to burn a card on top. It depends on your hand. If you have a hand that needs to draw something, then it's really bad to burn the 10th card, to burn the top deck. If you have a hand that's made and you have the cards that you're going to need, then it literally doesn't matter at all. And that's really important to keep in mind, because like people just freak out. Oh, I can't burn 10th card. Couldn't matter. Here our hand isn't necessarily made. It's pretty made, I'm gonna be honest. Yeah, I mean, if he skips his attack, that's fine. I'd rather, I mean, the only way we're losing is by pretty much pressure. So I think I'm fine just playing the I'll still just play the Daring Poro. If he gets Poros next, does it f him over or you? It f***s him. Because I've already drawn. The thing about snacks is you kind of only need one. And we have 3. Even... I don't know. Even if we haven't drawn the one, I think it f***s him a bit more than me. That's probably not true. If we haven't drawn the first one, or any Borealis, then it's probably me over him. So here we have exactly enough mana to play Lonely plus Daring. I just want to go wide with a few more Poros. I'm happy to tap under here. Why not attack? Honestly, no idea. He should have attacked there. I'm sure the enemy deck can't stop Fluffed. Yeah. So if I don't develop into the Fluffed, if he can't gold card it, if I just Fluffed on my defensive turn and then open attack with it, it is just going to be a win. Like, Ezreal TF has no counter to Fluffed, which is pretty funny. So, I mean, he does know I've got these Poros snacks in hand. I'm not really gaining anything by saving them. At all, actually. I mean, saving the mana for next turn can't possibly matter. Good chance he mystics here, and that's fine. Swim casually for getting sunk cost? Yeah, true. Oh, he did get the Poros snacks. You called it. That's fucking funny. Alright. Yeah, no, this game is extremely over, of course.
Like a fish in water.
I mean, I will just heart. Can't heart here, of course. I'm gonna need Overwhelm or to take out the elusive. Yeah, we'll get something a little bit better off of the Poro bot, I think, before that happens. It's really funny that we get a lot of destined Poros, which might actually matter if we were running a deck that had a single champion in it. Of course, it's not enough of a reason to actually run a champion. It's just sad that the one deck that actually gets destined Poros that you can use literally also can't run any champions. It's tragic. I mean, all right. So, I gotta go for the style victory here, guys. I do have to do it. It's gonna take 2 more turns, though. Ooh, my Station Archivist. He sees 2 cards here. He chose the one on the right. I don't know if that's mirrored. That information actually could technically matter in like really edge cases, by the way. That's a little niche, I'm gonna be honest.
Why are you here?
Poros create a lot of cards. Victor flip in hand. Easy trash add. Victor's actually not the furthest thing. I spent more than I'd like to admit thinking about Victor in this deck. And just honestly, after Arcane, thinking about Victor in general. I think that in the biggest problem with Victor, let's just push a little extra. That's fine. Just don't surrender, my guy. Never surrender this, right? The biggest problem with Victor in this deck is like you're just short on created cards. Also, he's very mana expensive. Victor costs like 7 mana. I don't know if you guys know that. He's a pretty expensive card. Okay, more accurately, he costs probably 6 mana. But that's like a lot of mana for this deck. Holy shit. This is a really old school deck, by the way, STF with all the nabs. Oh, he's got an elusive blocker. Come on, man. Let me heart, dude. Just let me smash. What the heck? All right, I need Overwhelm now. I'm going for Overwhelm. I've got Spell Shield. I've got elusive. I just want a heart. The one game, the one matchup where they actually don't have an answer to heart. Wait, he knew he had nothing on top of his deck there. All right, lifesteal. I'm just going for another one. All right, Fearsome. Fearsome doesn't work unless I combo with Icefield Archer, but it's an open attack with 3 sisters. That does work. Fearsome could work. Okay. Okay, I like it. Lifesteal for the BM win. And Spell Shield does keep me safe, so I can actually develop it into the turn. Oh, he's plundering. He's nuts.
Made it myself.
Alright. I mean, how BM are we going here? I need lifesteal too, right? Yeah, I definitely need lifesteal too. Please tell me you won't troll and play Heart. Guys, Heart's literally uncounterable. Look, this guy's killing my thing. It doesn't even matter. I'm going for lifesteal too. I have to BM this. All right. So we've assembled Exodia, guys. We've done it. We've got the Heart of the Fluffed. It's got all the stats. It's got all the keywords. And it's got Spell Shield. Now this is important because this actually allows us to develop it into the final turn. Normally you couldn't do this, but because it's got Spell Shield, we're not getting gold carded. And you actually can't chain something to take off Spell Shield before gold card. 3 sisters? Okay, if he has 3 sisters, he could take off Spell Shield. Guys, come on. Just let me... We have a lifesteal with 42, guys. There's no way we lose to 3 sisters and 2. It literally couldn't happen. This is the only time we're ever going to be able to play Fluffed for the rest of the climb. And because you can't actually chain anything to get the Spell Shield off. God, he actually has 3 sisters, doesn't he? Oh, that's infuriating. Are you kidding me? Wah.
I'm a people person.
Needs Overwhelm? Overwhelm? What could we possibly need Overwhelm for?
A chill in the air.
Oh yeah. Yeah, just give it to me. Jesus. Just let me smash. Let me do it. That's all I want. It's literally nab 3 sisters is the only thing. Fuck me. Oh God. Come on, bro. I'm just trying to have fun here, man. This is literally the one deck that actually doesn't have an answer to Heart, and they just have it anyway. Wah. That's so sad, dude. Oh, poor Alice, he's nuts. He can snacks on his open. That's crazy. That's broken. Okay, so he's threatening a total of, what is this, 9 damage. To play around double Mystic Shot, I have to pre 3 sisters. How many Mystic Shots has he played this game? I basically have to pre 3 sisters no matter what, right? Like, he's not going to buff anything. It would be really sissy to not... It would be really, really silly to not, you know, to not just keep my health higher. I mean, there's nothing that counters either of these unless I'm trolling. Entomb the elusive Poro. Homie, if I'm lifestealing, I'm thinking I'm good. Is that actually the play? Entomb elusive. He can't stop it, right? Yeah, it's true. It is actually the play. You got me. Can't disagree. Alright. What could you possibly do? Did you take my third 3 sisters? Are you gonna Fury of the North me here? Okay, third 3 sisters, he nabbed it. The last 3 sisters in my deck. And then if he Furies and he has 2 Mystic Shots and I uninstall. That's how this goes. God damn it. Ambush, are you fucking kidding me? Holy. Dude, I swear to God if we're losing to this. You gotta be kidding me. Serious?
Nothing's more exciting than an unsolved mystery.
I mean, ambush is temporary anyway, but we're just dead to like get excited Mystic here. It's very, very sad, this universe we live in. What are these fucking elusives? Oh, it's not big enough. Oh, but he has snacks. He'll make it big enough to block the fearsome.
I don't change fate, but I can see it.
Oh my god. Alright. We've got the fearsome. We've got the three sisters. If I pre-three sisters freeze... if I pre-three sisters freeze, then there's no way he can make it big enough to block my fearsome, right? Couldn't that only make sense? TF level up is a win con? Oh, he's not leveling up that fast, homie. Not a chance. I think pre-freezing is just correct. There's no way he can make it big enough. Stealing another ambush? Yeah, exactly. He stole my other ambush. Definitely. Alright. Homie, I thought you and I had a connection. After all that, you're not even gonna let me smash with my 40 attack lifesteal Poro. Alright, Pike Rek'Sai. So Icefield Archer is good here. We are running the 2 Archer version, right? Didn't I just cut down to... No. Oh god, I literally can't remember. Am I running 2 Archers or 3? Have I stopped trolling and put it in the 3rd Archer yet? I think I did. I think I did stop trolling. I put in 3, so I'll mulligan it. This actually makes the difference, by the way. I'm pretty sure 2 mulligan I would keep it, or 2 Icefields I would keep it, 3 I'm mulliganing it. You only need 1. It's like a really important mentality. Part of the reason 3 Icefields is kind of good is because A, it's important in this meta right now, but B, you need the ability to mulligan it, because this deck needs to mulligan for this card or it kind of sucks. Like bad. Like really bad. Now the nice thing is, I mean, if you're full mulliganing, you have really excellent odds of hitting it, right? That's like the entire point of full mulliganing, right? So, you know, if you're looking for a 3 of, and you know, Aura Borealis is good too, but Poros Nex is really, for the most part, what you're looking for. And if you're on, god, I don't even remember, how long has it been since I played this game? Is it a 10 card draw by turn 3? It's 67%. Wait, how much is it by turn 3? 12? 4 cards? 5 cards? God, it really has been a while since I've played Runeterra. Holy shit. Front-row. We don't really want Spell Shield as a keyword here. This is a bad hand. We need 1 Poro Cannon. This is a good hand. Okay, it's not bad. Scout is actually really scary with ambush, by the way. If we can trigger ambush later, then playing this for Scout is actually kind of terrifying. If he plays the thing, I'll actually play the Patched Borobot first. This is actually really interesting as a line. I'll play the Patched Borobot first, even though I wanted to play double elusive into snacks, because if he plays the Piranha here, I want to blocker to it, and his Piranha is going to come out weak. Even if it like hits Lurk on Rek'Sai, I can actually block with Poro Snack still and play 1 Poro for the elusive attack. And I'll play this now because it has Scout. I'm not even attacking with it this turn, but I wanted to lock in the Scout keyword because we have ambush in hand and because Lurk has actually specifically no answer to a Scout ambush attack. Now I want to clarify, when I say no answer to a Scout ambush attack, that's actually like really important. I guess I can do a Scout attack here and kind of like bluff Poros next too, right? Yeah, that's totally fine. He should never be able to block this either way. Yeah, and we can't need both Archivists. So we're not doing the Scout attack yet, right? We're snacksing first. We want to maximize our damage, and I don't think he should block either of these. He should think that he's the aggressor here, so I am just going to go in like this because he spent all his mana. You can use Pike Spell. Guys, okay. Let me... It's really important to understand what I'm saying. Obviously, he can kill an elusive unit. He has a spell that does that. He can use Pike Spell or he can use Bone Skewer. The thing that would punish a Scout attack is the same thing that punishes development. Because when I say Scout attack specifically, like the downside of a Scout attack is that the opponent gets an action. And because Pike's responses are fast speed, he doesn't have like Icefield Archer kind of units or like, you know, something that would punish it at slow speed. That there's no downside in ambushing here. He can kill it like he can kill any elusive unit, but that doesn't punish me for putting my elusive on my Scout. It just punishes me for having an elusive unit, which I'm gonna have no matter what, right? All right, and here, yeah, it's just simple daring Poro. So we're literally killing this guy next turn, by the way, if he doesn't have a spell. If he does, then he can stay alive for one turn, but I'm still chilling. So I'd like to bait him into tapping any amount under the Pike spell. Would be really nice. The best way to do that is to just like keep my mana. So Station Archivist, thinking a little bit here is I think fine. We're not going to be at like a loss for mana next turn, so I don't need to do any like weird brittle steel. Yeah, I think there's no risk in doing this, and he's exactly dead off of either this Poro or not, so we don't need to use it to keep the Poro alive. This looks fine. You should have a read on Pike because they played Call the Pack and it wasn't Rek'Sai. Yeah, true. Alright, so we added 3 sisters. Pike is 4. He taps under Pike spell and the game is over. GG, homie. This was a fun game. I enjoyed this one. I mean, okay. He could what? Like, he would have to bone skewer the Poro bot, right? And then he just loses too. This is so fucking dumb. Well, you're out of here! This deck is great. That was a turn 5 kill. This is Poppy's Head. They're attacking on 4. I think keeping 1 Ice Veil is probably proper in this one. It's more important than Lurk because like multiple Ice Veils are actually good in this one. The difference is, and this is a really, really important difference. I was just saying Lurk puts you on a clock because of Jarl and Pike. So you do want to rush with elusives. This one doesn't put you on a clock. We can actually just like stop their game plan and shut them down and then just win because run them out of cards, right? Make their rallies useless by killing the units, etc. So having multiple Ice Veil archers is okay in this matchup. So keeping the 1 Ice Veil, even though I have 3 of them in the deck, is fine. It's a good start for me. The fact that he's only dealing 2 damage on his turn 2 attack is really weak. And it immediately eliminates a lot of cards from his range, like Young Witch. Brightsteel's still in his range for sure. A lot of players wouldn't play Brightsteel there, and they shouldn't. So I can play the Station Archivist now, or I can play it later. Having the unit is nice. Being able to save the spell mana for more snacks is potentially more important, especially if I'm about to top deck a double Poro, like Poro Cannon or Lonely Poro. Then playing the Station Archivist here actually kind of makes no sense. I think people do misplay with Station Archivist. I think they do play it too early. It's a card that if you have a good hand, you're probably not even going to play it at all. That's the point of deck building, right? Like, if I have the double Poro snacks, then I don't need to play Archivist, right? And that's fine. Maybe I should play Archivist. I kind of want a unit. A unit looks good right now. I'd like a unit. It sounds good. I mean, I want to stop the open attack from getting as much value because I want him to play Poppy into my Ice Veil Archer. If I go Archivist, I mean, mostly I'm looking for Cannon. I have like a 40% chance of hitting Cannon, under 40. Because Cannon I'd actually be able to play here, otherwise I'm just like deleting my card. I don't really need to bank mana for anything. Fabled Poro plus Brittle, no. This one's close. I think I do Archivist. Mostly the question basically is more about is whether we're losing to more to the outgrind and like this value loss could lose, or to the tempo of like him just swinging with a 8 damage open attack, right? And like assessing the situation in my hand and his deck, it feels a bit more likely off of like this start that we're losing to a fast open attack, right? Especially if he opens, then he deals 8 and gets around Archer, and then he has got an open on 6. So I have to just play this for a blocker. This is bad all of a sudden. We probably lose this game. Most of that reason, by the way, is actually not because of anything that happened, but because we just saw the top 5 spells in our deck and we had no Poro Cannons. That's a big deal. Because we're double snacksing. What a troll. That's a giga troll play, my friend. Like, I respect it, but like, come on, bro. Like, that's not even leveling now. His hand, so his hand has to be bad to go for an all-in like that. It does win the game if I don't have 3 sisters. The odds of me having 3 sisters there are pretty low. They're under 50%. He took an above 50% chance of winning the game, but doing that basically says his hand is bad. Now, we know he was on a triple trick. Honestly, that might have been, he might have actually been priced in for that. He did have like a 60% chance from his perspective of just winning the game on the spot there. And that's like, that's actually probably worth it. Because if his hand was triple trick, then he just didn't really have better ways of getting more odds than that. Like, it was a bad hand.
Just as I suspected.
Maybe he thought he couldn't win without that. Yeah, it's a hand that, it's a play that indicates a bad hand. But assuming he knows how my deck works, which is very easily assumable, it does make a lot of sense. I mean, the Zed's still level up. He could be on like a multi-rally here. I do want to save mana for Iceveil Archer to potentially counter a rally, but I can also counter a rally with Brittle Steel, so I'm fine just playing the Fabled Poro. This is a really nice application of Brittle Steel, because I need to play a unit here to punish his open attack, but without saving mana, I have a hard time with rally, right? Alright, well, we finally drew a Daring Poro, which is a great draw here. And of course, we've got the Iceveil Archer that's going to just force out the Zed right away. I mean, he can give him +1/+1 with Young Witch, which allows it to level, but that's still pretty useless. Yeah, Iceveil on Zed is just the easy play. His Fleet for the Tracker will just die as well. He's dealing elusive damage here. Wow, what if it's not Iceveil? Okay, hang on. So, what does he drag on each? So, Daring Poro has the ability to block an elusive, but if I play the Daring Poro, he'll always drag it with that. I can block the Zed with the Fabled Poro. The Zed doesn't even really have much of an attack here. I can clone any of his cards. I can actually do a double clone on the Iceveil. If he drags... I mean, being able to Brittle is really nice. An elusive blocker would be nice if I literally could have one. But if he does a double development, if I play an elusive now, his second development gives me an elusive blocker, which I think is huge. Oh, man. I think it's Iceveil, but it actually is almost just playing the Poro. Like, if I play an elusive here, it doesn't count as a blocker because Tracker is a challenger, but then he plays another unit, let's say his own third elusive, then I'd be able to play Iterative into a second elusive, and I'd have an elusive blocker on 2 actions. To be able to do that, I would have had to have started this action with an elusive, and it's really sad that I didn't. So we're taking 4 here. The Brittle Steel looks like it's just saving us after, so it looks like we're forcing the rally out and not using the Brittle Steel until the rally's out, I think. Yeah. I don't think there's any reason to do anything weird. Especially because we still have enough mana for everything. Okay. So this is nice. If he wants to threaten lethal, I guess he can actually still Young Witch the Tracker. But yeah, that is annoying that he can still Young Witch the Tracker. Because I'd like to be able to protect my Daring Poro with Brittle Snacks. And he's out of tricks. He used them all already. He just has the rally. So here, the only thing we need to survive the rally is keeping Brittle Steel up. We're actually kind of mana throttled here because we have Iterative and Poro, and those both give us more cards, and we're really behind on tempo. Poor Herder here is fine. We're not dying to anything. Like, we actually just need to be mana efficient. Camera is delayed. Oh, is there like a weird camera delay with the audio? Or is it fine for the rest of you guys? Yeah, you might have to refresh the page then if it's bugged for you. Yeah, it looks like it's fine for literally everyone else. This is... Yeah, he's really thinking about this rally. I mean, homie, you all-in'd before. Yeah, you have to all-in now. Like, he's playing around Troll Chant at this point, basically.
This way, go!
That's not... Yeah, that's never cracked. You're dragging the tracker, or you're trying to push more damage here. Trying to push more damage is probably fine. It doesn't really make any breakpoints against anything else. It's actually, yeah, it doesn't matter which one you buff there. So we'll just Brittle Steel. He's down to a 2-card hand. If he has a second rally though, then we could still just lose because he has elusives and we don't. This is so sad that we might just lose this game. And like he has the challenger, which means he has more elusives than he looks like he has. Lifesteal is really good, and a lifesteal attack might actually keep us alive, especially with these stats. If he rallies, we'll literally have to attack now. If it's another Aegis, then it's a barrier and that can block my lifesteal. Yeah, we literally lose. That's so stupid. This is so dumb. Holy shit, dude. Like, what the fuck? So the only thing we can do is iterative the Ice Veil and freeze the Shadow Assassin, which maximizes his damage at 2 if he has nothing else. Copying an elusive doesn't do anything, guys, because he has Fleet Feather. Copying Lifesteal also doesn't do anything, guys. He has the next action. We have to copy the Ice Veil Archer. Yeah, copying Station Archivist doesn't do anything either. There's no hits at 1 mana. So yeah, it's just copy Ice Veil Archer and hope he has no other spells or any elusive units. Jesus, that's so silly, man. I mean, his Zed can't attack because then he's letting me lifesteal. Copy the 3/6 and pray. That is another line. Yeah, copying Fabled Poro and pray. It'll roll 3 keywords out of 13 on 3 units. Even if it rolls 1 elusive, it's not doing anything. Yeah, no. I mean, copying Ice Veil just makes the most sense. I'm not dead on board if I copy Ice Veil. I mean, there's kind of no hand range that we beat, but it's also the only play.
Winter take.
Whatever his hand is, it could be like a 3rd rally and we still lose to it. Any buff, any other elusive is good enough here. Yeah, I mean, at this point, I can hope that he's dumb enough and doesn't like block the lifesteal to the Zed, I guess.
Cut the breath from
Yeah,
them.
turns out he's not dumb enough. Very unfortunate.
You cannot escape.
This was such a silly one to lose. Dude, the fact that we lost after he went in for that all-in on turn 4 is really crazy. This one, I think, had to have been our misplay. Playing the Daring Poro into the tracker challenger with barrier was very unnecessary. TF Gangplank. So this is Poke City. This is a matchup where keeping the patched Poro bot is really nice. We just want to be able to stabilize the early game. This is an interesting one where I'm actually open to keeping Fabled Poro here because we have the Poro bot for the early game and the Poro snacks, and the way to beat Poke City is just like set up lifesteal, outvalue, don't take too much damage early. The Fabled Poro is actually very keepable. The problem with it is like I'd really like 1/1 drop or even an Ice Veil Archer. Our roll value is really high right now. I would never even consider this if it wasn't just a one of. I think I have to kick it, but man, that was close. Yeah, Ice Veil's nice. Even Iterative's nice. Just having more rolls for Porobot. This is a matchup where if you just like put Lifesteal on the board, you just kind of win.
Ready,
If you have the Poro snacks. Alright. Regen's aight. I'm gonna look deeper though. If he plays more things and threatens a scary open attack.
never met anyone like
So he summoned a 1 health unit. I can actually just block that with both Lonely Poros here. That might be better. And just like try to get something more impactful. Although honestly, Regen is scary for him. If he doesn't... You know... Regen's good enough, I think. I don't think I have to greed this. I feel safe enough that I shouldn't take a risk here. Like trying to save this for to try to get Lifesteal or Tough, which are both better than Regen, but Regen's above the median. It's below the mean, but it's above the median of the 13 keywords. And when you're behind, you want to play for mean value, and when you're ahead, you want to play for median value, if that makes sense.
Finger on the trigger.
That's kind of true of like all strategy games in general, by the way. What I just said is really, really important to understand.
43 months, like the weed number.
In any capacity. Yeah, I mean, I just stopped the maximum damage here, right? We are about to set up a wall. So the really nice thing is here is like we have the big blowout to make it right into the pokey stick. He'll have to use it right now if he has either. If he wants to use it at all. And if he's at 2 mana, I'm not tapping under snacks, of course. And regen is paying off. That's great. So I can double snacks here. Double snacks is actually a really nice threat. Especially like people that are smart will play around one snacks, but they'll never play around the second one. That actually just doesn't happen. I'd like to also play the Poro cannon here. So the question is, what are we discarding? Because we're on a triple snacks hand, I actually kind of favor the Sinister Poro being a value card. And we have the value with Archivist, so we don't really need to go in early or aggressive. The Ezreal Archer is too big of a bailout to some like aggro Gangplank draw that could potentially blow us out. I think the best thing to do is just discard the Sinister Poro. We have enough value that we're not really going to regret this. So, I mean, I think I commit 1 Poros snacks here and just do an attack. This attack has basically like no good blocks to it. Depending on how he blocks, I might just do a second attack. I think I'd rather do this because if I bait a spell on this, that's better. So, because if the Poro gets blocked by the 2-1, then that forces my Poros snacks proactively, and that's bad. I want to force it. I want to bait him into trying to commit something to do something here and then have the second snacks because it's really hard to play around second snacks. So he goes down to 2 mana, which allows me to tap under snacks in return. Not really too much I want to do here. I do want to make sure I have enough mana for snacks. I don't really need to bank anything though, and he's gonna almost certainly dart. I guess if he burns dart, that's only good for me. Nah, I need another unit here. This is actually a little scary. What was that thing you were saying about median and mean? This is weird to explain. So in any like series of value ranges, on any play in any kind of strategy game, if you're going for something, this being a 4/4 on snacks is important. If you're going for something that's going to represent a range of possible values, if you were so like a high mean in this context basically just means I mean, he'll use both darts to kill us. Sorry, playing and talking at the same time is kind of weird. He'll use both darts to kill us, but I'll bait an extra dart, which honestly might literally be enough. I think if I get the darts off my face, I just win. I'm scared of this burn. Okay, I'll explain it after this game. How about that? Whee! And we also played the Plucky Pora first, so like if he uses like Make It Rain, it's lower odds of doing anything. If he plays like red card here, then it's just gonna get absorbed for free. I'll pass, because if he plays red card, which he might do now that I'm at 1 mana, then I don't want this to take damage for no reason. I think you're at 51, 18. I don't know if you have a way to check. I mean, I might be. I mean, I lost the last game. Just go back to music streams and don't explain things at all. Alright, there's the TF, there's the red card.
Something for
So
all.
now I can play the Daring Poros safely. And he can see it's in my hands too. He knows that I just waited for him to play that. And yeah, if he doesn't have... Yep, he has nothing for this patched Poro bot. So we're just regenning again? That's nice. Archivist has exactly enough to hit snacks and be good on the cast, which is pretty great. Our odds of hitting snacks are low. We've played 1 Poro Cannon and 2 snacks, so we have 3 outs. So it's a total of about a 41% chance to hit something we want from Archivist. Yeah, Troll Chant would actually be fine here too. We went down to 2 Troll Chant, 1 Brittle. I'd take any of those here because we will do a forced block. Yeah, developing Archivist into this play can only make sense, I think. We have very good odds. There's the Troll Chant. So we whiffed the nuts, but that's fine. So it's Troll, Ambush, 3 Sisters. Remembering the order of those is literally important, by the way. That matters. I'm not going to say it matters a lot, but it matters an extremely non-zero amount.
You poor thing. You're bluffing. Charmed, I'm sure.
Oh, was I, what, 1 off lethal if I went for ambush there? I guess I should have at least checked for that. One off lethal isn't enough, of course. So, I mean, I can Troll Chant here. Right now, we're losing to any amount of burn over the top. So, using this Troll Chant to keep this live is adorable, but his health is too low, and I'm just trying to mitigate damage as much as possible. So, I kind of have to Thermo the Lecturing Yordle instead. Are you actually calculating those percentages, or did you memorize them? A lot of them are memorized, a lot of them are semi-calculated. Usually, it's a combination of both. You memorize some benchmarks, and that allows you to calculate things very quickly. At least, estimation. All like card game math, like probability stuff, is mostly estimation. It's not like fucking NASA math where you actually have to be like super accurate. It's like you're allowed to be fairly inaccurate. So his Gangplank isn't leveled. It's gonna be 4 out of 5 at the most. So I think just using the Thermo on the Lecturing Yordle makes the most sense here. That's probably gonna stop the maximum damage to face for what Thermo can do.
I've whipped up something special.
Okay. No, something that's actually really interesting. We just saw 3 spells. I don't know off the top of my head the odds that Troll Chant is the top of my deck. This is an interesting math puzzle. This is the kind. I'm not good at all kinds of math. I'm just like, I've done a lot of basic probabilities a lot. So we saw 3 spells, 2 face downs. We know Troll Chant is the top spell in our deck, but we don't know if the top card is a spell or a unit. I guess it's actually really simple math. It's just even chance of being a spell or a unit. If it's a spell, it's Troll Chant. So it's just 60% chance of being Troll Chant on top. Oh, that was actually really simple. Never mind. Okay. Well, this is sad. I don't like that we're just losing to like random bullshit now. That does make me sad. Is that right? Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he's going for the deal 3. I mean, we have to open attack to beat Decimate stuff. We're beating the other double up, actually. Are we good here? I don't know. I feel pretty good.
You're glad to see you're back.
Yo, what's up, dude? We actually can't play the Ice Veil Archer. Because it gives him an additional thing that could be killable by double up. So this is very interesting. If I save that... I mean, I'm killing him on the attack. I guess I'm always saving that, right? Wait, what could even deal 4? I don't understand. Decimate? Yeah, Decimate. I see 2 problems with Decimate as something to play around here. But, I mean, double up literally can't do anything, right? It would be double up plus Pokey Stick. I think this is a win either way. I don't see any way this isn't a win either way. I'm just like, it's a weird line, so I have to make sure I'm thinking of everything. Because there's no reason we should have less than 100% chance to win here. The important thing is like Parley put him under the mana for double up. Rip ambush. Guys. Okay. So first of all, we've already won this game. But second of all, we have 3 non-elusive units and he has 2. So another elusive unit doesn't actually even do anything here, right? Like if he blocks, if we're like, let's pretend this game isn't over. We're blocking to maximize damage. He'll block these and then we'll ambush this, right? So the one difference it makes is like the 1 point of damage on this, but it's again, it'll never matter in this situation. And even if we had the ability to make this elusive, which we don't, of course, but I'm just saying like, there's no ability here that makes us like care about elusive, because elusives are something that when you have more non-elusives than your opponent. Yeah, that's a very sad hand, my friend. All right, but yeah, we pretty much weren't losing that game as soon as we it was the turn we thermoed. I think we were 100% locked in when we thermoed, or very close to it. Okay, so usually value happens in random spikes. It's time to pull out paint. This is the best way to explain this. So I just said last game, something that's really, really important to understand if you're playing literally any strategy game ever, is that if you're favored in the game, you usually want to play for the mean value. Or sorry, if you're unfavored, you usually want to play for mean, and if you're favored, you usually want to play for median. Basically, it's just a revisualization of the concept of just like playing to outs. Because usually value in any sort of strategy games is usually going to operate on spikes that people go for, right? There's like some graphs are different, but for the most part, it'll look something like this. Let's draw this a little bit better. So there'll be something like this, right? Where like let's say everything on the horizontal axis is a data point, right? That represents like possible game states. So let's say you've got here a total of, what did I just draw? 13 data points, and each of these is an equally likely roll you could have. 13 data points for 13 keywords, let's just say, right? And this is the example I used when I was talking about tough and lifesteal, right? So for example, the vertical axis represents value and the horizontal axis represents like a linearly distributed in terms of likelihood, different outcomes, right? So basically, if you have lifesteal up here, and you know that's the best roll we could go for the 13 keywords, and if you have, let's say tough is down here and like regen is just, you know, some little thing over here. Basically, if there's gotta be an easy way to visualize this. When you're playing any sort of competitive game, the minor advantages are going to be like the only ones you really need, right? Because in any sort of competitive game, the margins between advantages are going to be inherently less. And so when you're at like lower rank, or when you're trying to high roll, going for mean makes sense. And when you're at higher rank, going for median makes sense. The reason being is because in any sort of high rank environment, the margins start to matter a lot more, because you'll see more consistent games being applied. So for example, let's say, you know, one of these players is operating on, you know, they make decisions on this line, right? And let's say player number 2 is making decisions on this line. We can even go lower. We can do it this, right? Yeah. So let's say player number 2 is going for green, right? Which is to say that they're playing for kind of like consistently floor for value, right? So if you look at what's happening here, 13 equally likely game states, right? You have here and here, you know, player A wins, and here player A wins. There's these 3 areas where A is ahead. In fact, over here, A is ahead by a really wide margin. Like if this one at the peak hits and the 1 out of 13 chance, then A basically wins regardless of like player skill difference, right? But when you look at like, even though the difference between the outcomes on like the low roll in terms of the consistency versus like the lower floor, even though this difference is low, like the higher skill you get, the more this margin of value will matter, to the point where, yeah, I mean, in 1 out of 13 cases, it's an auto win, and in 2 out of 13, you're very favored. But in 10 out of 13, you're slightly unfavored, to the point where, assuming you're at a high rank, that unfavored is going to matter a lot more than it would be, right? And that's why like lower rank, like making sure you're going for high rolls makes sense to some degree, but like playing for like think of the outcomes to your possible range of plays, or think of the possible range of outcomes to the possible range of your plays as represented by a data set. In card games, it's usually a lot of equally likely stuff, but sometimes the probability does change more than just like, you know, a bunch of allotments of equal likelihood. And when you're in that environment, you usually just want to be playing towards the median instead of the mean. Of course, there are situations where you're like behind in the game and you need to take a risk. And you need to hope you exist in the reality where this is happening, right? Like, think of these 13 different points as different realities you could live in, and you don't know which reality you live in until you open the door, right? That's kind of the whole point of card games and like unknowns and probability. There's sometimes you have to assume you live in this reality and just all in on it, but most of the time you shouldn't, especially if you're trying to climb. In any sort of climbing environment, you assume you're higher skilled than the other player because that's what climbing is, literally. And you're going to make sure you're going for the green line a lot more than the red line. This is kind of advanced, but it's also important to understand if you want to be good at any game. Again, to reiterate, 70-something win rate on a plat to Masters climb is not very high. You should be looking for something like 80 plus. But this is kind of a bad deck. So Elise Teemo is pretty aggressive. I'm gonna need something to stop taking damage early. I might literally just need to keep Poro Cannon on turn 1 to block the Teemo since he's attacking on turn 1. Like when you're mulliganing, watching where the opponent is attacking on the token is really important. I don't think I can keep the Lonely Poro though. I still need a snacks. This is an okay hand. Poro bot rolls something decent on turn 2. Like I'm chilling, big chilling. All right, no Teemo on turn 1. That's actually great. Elusive. Hey, we take those. Oh, hello, Snacks. Yo, what's up? How's it going? What the hell is Elise Teemo? I don't even know what this deck is. Probably running Vile Feast, so I don't want to let my Poros die to the Vile Feast. So this is a pretty aggressive hand, and he passed turn 1. So I'll put on early pressure with Elusives. I mean, if he's going to Thermo this, I can't mind being 1 mana up. Probably a go hard deck. Oh yeah, very easily might be. So yeah, definitely good that I'm not playing 1 health Poros. Gotta protect them with snacks. Yeah, go hard is a good guess. It's an Exodia deck. Good one, dude. God damn it. All right, I will say this isn't a music stream, but you know, because we're against Yama Yugi.
There's nothing to fear.
Jesus, dude. Okay, I actually can't care about that one. A Sumpflicker deck, of course. It is basically an Exodia deck when you think about it. Wait, he's a genius. Hang on, if he actually has multiple of them, I may be screwed, by the way. Oh, God. There's no way. Poros Slayer deck, the hard counter. All right. Well, that song would get too repetitive if I actually just repeated it. So this game is not ending fast enough. I'm sorry, Yami. Imagine playing an elusive deck. Uh-oh. Alright, I'm not gonna finish that sentence. Okay. Alright. Just got a little bit harder. Station Archivist probably just bails us out though, yeah? Ooh, kinda. I mean, I guess I could just copy his posse now, right? Wait, does that just work? It should. There's no reason I shouldn't be able to copy the posse, right? I'd have to be able to copy it.
Let me get you that file.
Because... it's actually really funny. Because, you see, he's gonna attack with the posse here. And my Daring Poros is gonna set that to 1 health. We're gonna set this to 1 health. Oh wow, his entire board is actually getting set to 1 health. Oh, that's very interesting. That's very interesting. It'd be a shame if something happened to it. Wait, I should see if this works first. Alright, you guys baited me. God damn it.
It doesn't add up.
It's alright. I'll use the other iterative and I'll get the other one back anyway. So it's fine. Yeah, why would that work, guys? Come on. You guys still think Riot knows how to make code that works? Yeah, it's okay. I got the other iterative, guys. We're all cool. This is the stupidest game. Wait. Holy shit. Alright, homie. Good luck. Oh, that's so good.
Trust me.
It wasn't me. That's always been there.
Well, this was a wild game. Burn isn't real.
Join me if you want to live.
I think we have something on that case. A missing piece?
Alright, GG home slice. Nice fucking posse. We literally used the Exodia deck against himself. I don't remember the episode where that happens. But alright, this was one of the stupidest games. I mean, it would have been nice if you could just iterative the actual posse. I would have had 2. Alright. 4 more to Masters. Alright. Lee Sin. Fucking gate kept by Doughy Nut. So against Lee Sin, you really just want to slam your dick on the table. Like, you're just in. Oh, God. He'd never play her on Thermo. I think keeping Poro Cannon is actually good against Lee Sin. This is the only matchup in the entire game I would keep Cannon without snacks, I think. Okay, no sacks is No snacks is kind of sad. We can't really possibly need the other Archivist. Like, if Archivist shows us snacks, then we're about to draw the second snacks off of it, and that means that we don't need the third snacks off of the second Archivist. So I can just discard that. Three Sisters and Icefield will buy us potentially 2 turns here. If he taps under 2, then we do have an attack, and because I don't have snacks, I'm okay trading off the Poros. Nope. He actually is totally fine using Pale there and skipping the Nightfall, so attacking there doesn't make sense. My hand's okay. It's not exactly what I want it to be. So I can iterative here for mana efficiency. Next turn we need 6 mana exactly for station. If I don't iterative, I'm burning 1 mana here, and I won't need the extra mana next turn for well, it does deal a little bit of extra damage. You know, in this hand, yeah, I'll iterative first. The sad thing is, I'd like to be able to play this Daring Poro to stop his Zoe attacking. Is this Zoe going to attack? God damn it. If I play the Daring Poro, then I don't have the 6 mana I need to Archivist next turn. And I think I need to Archivist next turn unless my hand improves. Because I need the 6 mana to be able to find snacks off of it. Yeah, I actually can't play the two Daring Poro. Which looks really weird that I iterative that and then don't play it. Alright, good. Poro Cannon is a really good top deck. Now, if Archivist draws me snacks, we should be on a good clock to win the game. The interesting thing here is that there's, like, almost a consideration to not go for the Archivist this turn suddenly. So this is a really, really weird logic. But something that's unique to Station Archivist is... Okay, so it shows you cards in the top 5. If we're trying to... So we have 2 freezes. We have Icefield Archer and 3 Sisters. And he might be able to play around Icefield by always open attacking, but usually the 2 freezes will hold. And that buys me enough time that, like... There's no... Like... If I wait 2 turns to Archivist, then I have, like, 2 more shots at being able to find a Poros next that I wouldn't have had access to, if that makes sense. Because it shows you the top 5, right? So if I do it now, and if I find one off the top, then it's one that I would have had already, if that makes sense. Which is completely unique to how this card works. And I'm also, like, doing a lot of damage by attacking without snacks here. I don't think... I mean, if... Yeah, I'll just do it now. Borealis into snacks. Okay, that's perfect. I'm super happy about that, by the way. I mean, it would have been slightly better in the other order, I guess, but just slightly. I have to snacks here because it's fleeting. I don't know if I have to attack here unless he makes me. If I attack right now, then he doesn't get, like, the free Pale for Nightfall. My elusives aren't really doing more than this. If he wants to, like, trick out his Zoe, he's allowed to. Alright, Priestess. Priestess, deal 4, deal 1, Obliterate, Challenger, Challenger Warrior. He picked it pretty fast. Written in the stars. There's a total of 6 cards this has access to. You just need to play around all of them with invokes. Yep, there's the Aurora Borealis. So 3 face downs with a Poros snack somewhere in there. So here's the Lee Sin. 3-5. We've got... He doesn't really have the ability. I mean, if he wants to challenge one of our Poros, then I can just stop that pretty easily. Since the Lee Sin is already pre-developed to the board, he might not be able to play around Archer though, so I think I should save the Archer while I have the ability to. That being said, I actually need to... This is a little weird. I need to discard something for Poro Cannon, and I actually don't have anything to discard. If I want to use Troll Chant to potentially stop the Lee Sin while keeping the Icefield Archer as an option for later. And because of that, I think I actually just take the Icefield now. No, that's really dumb. Sorry, sometimes I have to say things out loud to realize how little sense they make. Okay, being mana efficient is a little too important here. So, I mean, if you want to challenge one of them with Lee Sin with like something you can. What the heck is this attack?
A missing piece?
Okay. Is this the genius free up board space for the Jagglings? Because I can't not block that. My health actually matters. He's freeing up board space for his own Jagglings for like 2 turns from now because he's going to play a second Jaggling. Wait, this guy's a Jigger Brain. Shit. And there's the snacks. Okay, so that's a pretty lucky snacks. We still have to Aurora here because we are mana inefficient if we don't. And all we need to do is survive one of his turns, basically. And we're super happy to like completely tap out because we have no re-responses anyway. We just want to put the pressure on him. We're just killing him on turn 8 and forcing things, right? We're forcing Ush, we're forcing Palm. That means it increases the likelihood of killing him on turn 8 by forcing these, but it also increases the likelihood of surviving on turn 7. Again, just be planning turns ahead, thinking about time to kill, who's attacking evens and who's attacking odds. I think like the average like newer, even even probably like a lot of like golds and plat players literally aren't even thinking about like evens versus odds. It matters a lot.
Our enemies cannot hide.
All right. So without Overwhelm, he can't even really force my freeze out, which is nice. But because I threw away my Troll Chant like a donkey, this Dragonling can threaten both of my Poros. Why did I throw away my Troll? What the f is wrong with me? I mean, I guess I'll just do this. Still though. And this is the most value Archivist is getting, I think. Wah. That is sad. Yeah. If that was a Pale, then I'd have a cute Poros Snacks re-response. But I still have to Snacks here. This is a little awkward. He had really good defensive tools, and he's healing off of this Dragonling too. Please don't have a Pale. If we had like a Poro Cannon in hand, we'd feel very safe. Yeah, he's just killing it with Sonic. So the nice thing that this is a really interesting game because he's committing like pretty much his entire resource pool into stopping my 2 Daring Poros here, right? He's healed up to 14 and we're down to 10 damage worth of elusives. We can't kill him this turn, but we still have the Challenger, which is really nice. Also, kind of our entire board just gets to start swinging deck, huh? That is nice. Yeah, that's great. But like, he kind of has, if he doesn't have deep meditation, then he actually is just gonna have like air for his Lee to be able to do, which is pretty funny. Impact isn't useless. I mean, it does push damage. I'm just gonna start with Challenger though. But yeah, we're not killing him on this turn anymore because of how he played that. But he's also not killing us on 9, so we just have to make sure we're pressuring him on 10. I don't want to take this to top decks. I want to maximize my odds of killing him on turn 10. We don't have to commit almost anything on 9 because we're at 20 health, right? So he'll deal a lot of damage, but that's okay. We want to commit the least resources possible to killing him there. This is pretty unfortunate though. God, did I have to entomb her? Yeah, Moon Weapon's correct. The Challenger can threaten the... Right now I have to kill the Eye of the Dragon to stop everything from getting lifesteal, but presumably he just went for another one. Or a stun on the Challenger, I guess, is doing something similar. Yep, the stun on the Challenger is better. Yeah, I guess we just lose. I mean, we're not dead for a few turns, but when his entire board has lifesteal permanently, we don't have much of a way to win. So this can still get an elusive or a Challenger. Either would be good here. I mean, it looks like we're just dick swinging. This is really weird. He kind of can't block with the Eye of the Dragon because he didn't go for second eye, and he needs his entire board to get lifesteal. His Lee gets a free block, but it doesn't have lifesteal yet, and his Zoe can't block at all. So I just override my stunned unit and just go in, right? I can actually push... Wait, is he dead? He gets a free block with Lee. He gets a free block with Zoe. My entire board is 5s plus the impact. He doesn't have the ability to block with Eye of the Dragon. He can only so we can force him to block with Eye of the Dragon. We can force him to block with Eye of the Dragon. Does the Icefield Archer make the difference in his ability to not block with the Eye of the Dragon? Okay. So we Icefield Archer the Dragon. We override both of them. He definitely has to block with Lee Sin and Zoe. Both of them die, and the Eye of the Dragon has to die because he's taking 4. No, we don't need to Icefield Archer the Dragon. There's 3 blocks. We have 2 impacts. It's because of the 2 impacts, we don't have to Icefield the Dragon, right? That math sounds right to me. There's a lot of math. Who knows? But it's kind of weird that I actually just have to go in here. But I totally do. Dick Swing forces all the blocks? Yeah, exactly.
Act free of doubt.
Yeah, exactly. I did the math right. So we didn't need to freeze the Dragonling. It didn't make a difference here. We need to force the Eye of the Dragon to block so that he doesn't get lifesteal on his Lee next turn. And it sucks that, you know, we have to offer a unit for free, but if his Lee doesn't get lifesteal, we're good. All right. Look at this. We're fine, guys. We're totally fine. Lee Sin who? Fabled Poro? Yeah, that's all right. Whatever. All right, Zenith Blade. And this is kind of our opportunity to use Icefield Archer for any amount of value, I think. I mean, if he goes in to try to kill us, then I can freeze and just win the game, which is nice. I guess passing is fine. Like, he doesn't have enough damage, or if he has like mana Bastion plus Twin, which is maximum damage outside of freeze, it's 16. We're at 20. We're chilling. Bing chilling.
My lands need me. Center your spirit.
And I mean, there's kind of no reason to freeze this, right? Because I'm overriding that Poro anyway. He's not healing on this or anything. Okay. Entomb. I'm not gonna entomb when he has deny mana. That's just not gonna happen. I can entomb now. Also, the thing about entombing there is like the Lee Sin doesn't matter. My health doesn't matter. This will always buy me 1 turn, pretty regardless of my health. Not entirely regardless, but fairly regardless. Okay, so he's summoning Eye, and it will give a Dragonling. So I probably just entomb the Eye.
What is gained from malevolence?
This is so stupid. All right. Yeah, now he's under deny. Now we just entomb the Eye. That's hilarious. But yeah, there's no reason to entomb the Lee, right? It doesn't make any sense. Like, we don't care about him as a blocker. We don't care about our health as long as we keep the flash freeze in hands. And we don't care about our unit because we just redeveloped the Fabled Poro anyway, so the unit can never matter. Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's any... Yeah, he doesn't do lifesteal. What is he running? Spirit's Refuge? Alright, GG, homie. Woo! Alright. That was a pretty close one. That level Zoe was a little tight. Okay. Alright. 56 wins. 3 more to go. Alright, so this is a matchup where we're very happy to keep Porobot, especially attacking on odds, because that means it's a blocker on evens. I really want a Snax or an Icefield Archer. I don't think I can keep Daring Poro. We're not trying to aggro this one down. We're trying to outlast them. So like Daring Poro, like a lot of people would keep Daring Poro or like Lonely Poro in this matchup because they're like, oh, we need blockers. But it's kind of the opposite. Like this is the matchup where you don't want to do that probably. Like if you have a God, oh, why don't you ever get tough when I can play you? So now that he's played a tracker, I'm very happy to respond with my Lonely Poro. I even get 1 damage in. Look at me go. But yeah, these kinds of plays are important. Like the little things I do, like choosing to burst pass on turn 1. Like if he's playing a 1-drop, then I need to play a 1-drop. But if he doesn't, then I don't want to, right? react to what your opponent's doing is, I mean, unless you're a literal aggro deck.
My shield is
Yep.
yours.
So he gets a free kill with that, which is okay. Whatever. Patched Porobot kind of bad here. And I can't use Icefield Archer. There's no way Icefield is good here. It's just too good later. Thermal Beam is kind of hitting the most value it should ever hit right now because he's tapped out. To be honest, I can't use it on a land unit though. There's just no way. This one's a little strange. I need to trade down his board so I don't lose to Poppy, and I need to keep Icefield Archer so I don't lose to Zed. I think this is a very, very bizarre spot where as long as we make sure we don't lose to Zed and Poppy, he has an aggro hand, right? He's got Tracker and Protector. Very light hand. Look at the resource game. I have 6. He's got 4, right? He's playing cheap things. I won't run out of resources because of Borealis. So I think I literally just Porobot and be okay with just throwing it away into this Protector. Even though that trade sounds kind of awful, like, if I force down the board and keep my counters open, I think we just win.
Honor guide me.
Like, trading down evenly benefits the person holding the fucking draw 4. The only draw 4 in the game. Alright, and now banking mana is fine. If he plays Zed, then he's trolling. You're not supposed to tap out and let him die to, like, Mystics or anything. I actually don't even mind using a 2-mana Thermo on that. Or, sorry, a 1-mana Thermo. Thermo is not necessarily good in this matchup because the opponent, well, they're supposed to hold on to mana for combat tricks. This guy's not, though. So if he plays a Poppy, I could just Thermo it next turn. The problem is I'd have to spend my mana this turn in order to be able to Thermo it next turn without trolling. This is an interesting spot where I think the best play is actually just to play Station Archivist, so that if he plays Poppy next turn, I can Thermo it. That'll be all his mana. He'll be tapped under a re-response trick. And the thing about playing Archivist is that even if I find nothing I can use this turn, even if I didn't find the Poro Cannon, I can just discard it with the Poro Cannon I already have. So it works out. In this case, there's no need. I mean, it's worse than Protoporo. And hey, look, I also have an attack here. 3 damage for free. So, like, I think basically every play I've made this game is a play that probably not most people would make, including the Mulligan. And every single play I've made has been important. And now he's got nothing. Like, the Poppy is dead. We have the Borealis. Like, we've traded down the board. He doesn't even have a tracker attack this turn.
They cannot hide.
That's the nice thing about Archivist in this deck. Like, the Poro Cannon has really good synergy with Archivist for multiple reasons. Okay, so I mean, I've got a nice defensive ambush. He probably has a second Poppy, which we'll be okay with. Could open attack before deciding what I want to do for the turn. If he plays anything, I'm not going to be too scared. I think Daring Poro is actually totally fun to play out here because I can't Aurora this turn, so I'm going to have to spend 2 mana on something. Unless he like tries to do a weird trick and I troll taunt it, which would just be really trolly of him. Alright, there's the Zed. So he's down to 2 mana for that one. I mean, the Zed has an open attack, which protects it from Icefield Archer, of course. Yeah, my Archivist 3/3 body actually just kind of slaps right now. This is an interesting one. I want to put him on a 2-turn clock. Right now we have a total of 4 elusive damage going down to 12. We have 4 elusives, and 4 elusives make 8 when combined with the Poros Snacks, and they make 12 when combined with the second Poros Snacks. So if he doesn't block any of my elusives, or we have the ability to protect them, if I play more Poros, we do just win. And I can use a Troll Chant this turn, but only if I maximize my value here. I can't use Ambush this turn because he has an elusive blocker, and my Archivist doesn't really have the ability to get blocked anyway. So I should always play one more elusive here, but I don't know what to discard with my Poro Cannon, which is actually a really big problem. I think discarding Ambush is actually safe. We should always assume he has an elusive. We shouldn't really be in a hurry, but we want to be mana efficient. Okay, that doesn't make sense. I'll just attack like a normal human being. And if he wants to do like a weird sharp sight trick, I can just Troll Chant anyway. So this is a great exchange. The tracker has done basically nothing all game. Okay, so by banking full mana, we have exactly enough to Snacks here, off of Aurora Snacks if we really want to for whatever reason. It's very unlikely we'll do that. If he plays Poppy, we'll go in for an Archer. No Poppy, Zed already on board means we can just Archer the Zed. We're not going to get a better Archer than this. This is what we kept it for. These 2-1s trade really poorly into the Daring Poros, and it's okay that we didn't snacks this turn because we don't have to put him on a clock, right? This isn't a matchup where we're accelerating. They don't actually put us on a clock, as bizarre as that sounds. We're attacking odds. We don't need to kill him on 7. We just need to survive 8. And surviving 8 is a lot more doable than killing him on 7, right? Mostly because we have the Borealis in our hand. If our hand was different, we might have to play this a little bit different. And we just don't need ambush either. I think we can never really need ambush. We're never going to be in a hurry to kill this guy. So what's likely going to happen, we minimize all our damage here, then he gets a big swing on us on turn 8, and then we kill him on turn 9, is pretty much the plan. Sharp side Zed is fine.
Do not deny me.
Okay, so the question is, how much do we value elusives? Like, you know, do I want to block the Blade Scout? I can use a Troll Chant here. Troll Chant is a nice way of being able to block both of them and not lose units. And units actually matter here. Zed losing a little bit of health does matter. And if he uses another trick, that's even better for me. Yeah. I think just like Troll Chant, minimize my damage and keep units alive looks pretty good. Yeah, this is the best Troll Chant I'm getting because I'm going to be tapped out of mana after this. This is a matchup. So the interesting thing about elusive mirrors is that elusives often don't matter in elusive mirrors. Yeah, if he's going to waste a card on that, I'm super happy actually. Yeah, it's kind of bizarre, but elusives actually don't really matter that much in elusive mirrors. Bizarre spot. To be mana efficient, I think I actually do this. Yeah. I have enough units off of the Borealis. Because both boards have so much elusive, like normal unit, like look at my Archivist. It has an attack right now. This 3-1 unit is just solid, right? It's great. It's everything a 3-1 could possibly need to be. If I force a trade down on this board, then I'm just winning. Especially if he tries to resolve here. If he doesn't, then I'm still winning.
You cannot escape.
Yeah. So this was a rare case where I didn't pre-snacks just because it had a chance at forcing resolve. I'll go for it here. I mean, the additional pressure is fine. You should almost always pre-snacks. If you've been watching me, you might notice this is like the first time all fucking day that I didn't pre-snacks when it could have pushed more damage. But I had enough damage that it wouldn't have mattered, and if it baits him into doing a resolve block, then that's fine. Alright, so action economy might matter a little bit. The scary hands are like the heavy rally hands. Like if he has 2 rallies, if that's his hand right now, then I'm actually worried. If I had a single 3 Sisters or even an Icicle Archer, I'd be fine right now. Yeah, it's probably a 2 rally hand. Well, this should still be fine. Like his health is, my health is just too high. Like I can afford to take some damage, and that's just okay. The funny thing is I actually have to block this Zed right now, because if he has Ghost, and a lot of versions do run 1 Ghost, then this is the last block this Lonely Poro is ever going to get. And I might die if this Lonely Poro can't block.
I am only the worthy survive.
All right.
This way, go.
No Ghost to Zed. I mean, is he actually on a double trick? It would have to be double twin for this block to lose me the game. It couldn't actually, and he's already used 1 twin before. There's just no way. This is fine. I mean, if he uses a trick on the elusive, like we're still winning that. And we can still block down any rally. We have to block like this. If this guy's a good player, he's just on the triple twin hands. Okay, double twin, that's fine. Yeah, he has to do that. That's perfect. So if I want to, I can snacks here and push 1 damage into this Young Witch. I don't think it's possible for that to matter. I literally don't see how it even could. Nope.
Ranger's Resolve. Nope. We can't summon 2 Poros at once, but his rally's gonna take him 2 actions anyway. So I think we're good into anything.
Now, where did that one run off to?
Like, he's just 1 card short. I mean, the Fabled Poro dies. We're 1 mana short on being able to keep it alive. So it's just whatever I'm sacrificing here, which is the Plunder Poro.
You've gone and spoke them.
So now the thing we have to play around is the rally top deck, basically. That's kind of the scary thing that actually might matter. It's actually slightly worse blocking that. It takes a very convoluted hand for that to make a difference. So I have to pre-develop here instead of banking mana to play around with the rally top deck.
Off we go! Load out!
Okay. And yeah, that's how you beat this matchup. So again, I mean, like, if you're watching these games, you'll see, like, this deck has a very, very different method for every different matchup, right? Like, we do every matchup differently. And in this one, we had to play a very, very different approach to how we play most of the other matchups. But mostly, identify early. We have the Aurora in hand. We know our goals. Don't take too much damage early. Play around rallies. Play around, like, combat tricks to a degree. I mean, they have them. Don't let them get a combat trick on, like, a quick attack, right? But, like... And with that, we're 2 wins away. Whew. One more away and we get Masters. This is the easiest Masters of our life. All right, Poppy Ziggs. Poppy Ziggs is aggro. We race. We have the attack token on odds. Troll Chant is not useless, but I'm going to want something that can stall for more time. Icefield Archer would be great. I think I actually do need to keep the Lonely Poro, though. This is like the one matchup where... So their burn, it's sort of an in-between of Zed, Poppy, where you just make sure to not run out of resources because they have Poppy and Rally. And it's a bit of a mix of the burn mentality of the TF deck we just played against, the Pokey Stick deck, where we need to make sure we don't run out of resources. So keeping Lonely Poro is actually, like, slightly debatable, but I think stopping early damage, because this deck is more board-based, if I can stop, like, damage from Legion Rearguard, for example, that's just worth a lot. So if he doesn't open attack on turn 2, I'm happy either way. So I can start with the Daring Poro. Deck doesn't run anything that kills it at 1 mana. Now, I did this to push the 1 damage, because if he played... There's at least something he could have played on turn 1 that would have stopped my Lonely Poro attack. Even though this stops my blocker, but if he open attacks without developing a unit, then I'm happy either way. So I drew the Archer. I can Archer here, and this is actually a pretty good Archer. Unfortunately, I think saving Archer for the turn 4 Poppy has to be a lot better. So, sorry, Archer. The sad thing is, I'm kind of taking a ton of damage. Okay, so he's attacking evens. He's attacking on turn 4. If I stop the attack here, then his turn 4 attack Poppy and turn 6 attack Poppy is going to kill us. We can't kill him on turn 5. We're looking for a turn 7 kill. Looking for a turn 7 kill. If he has Poppy, we might just lose. If we were attacking on evens, we could race down on 6, but 7 means we're slow playing, and that feels bad. I think we can beat Poppy hands. We can guarantee get the race on 7. The impact of going off twice is very unfortunate, but I'm getting a really good Porobot damage. If I can bait him into Pokey sticking me, then I kind of win the game off of that, but this is going to be too much of a race. I kind of need this 2 damage, I think. And also, like, even if he has Pokey Stick, and even if he forgets we're running Poros next, he's not even supposed to use it there. If he has Poppy, he just wants to develop wide into my juicy, juicy archer. Oh, yeah, wider. Oh, wider. Oh, yeah. Oh, now play Poppy. Oh, I'm cooming. All right. This is why we hold on to that archer, boys. All right, so we're killing him on 7. We just need to make sure that we're trading down this board enough to not die here. Wait, why am I dying?
Stay back.
Okay, this is whack. I mean, I can just... Okay, so Poppy gets 2 attacks, and I go down to 10. The scrap's gonna go off before I die, so I'm effectively at 9. The impact is unavoidable. I can block down with a wide board, and he doesn't really have the much. Poor Herder has it down, and it's gonna be like 1 decimate, 1 fervor. I think this is safe. This maintains my ability to kill him on 7. Aurora Borealis is gonna be a little too slow for 7. If I don't have the fearsome attack... Oh, this is weird. He's not gonna block my Poro bot. I could almost keep it alive instead of the Daring Poro. But I don't think I can. God, I wish I could just kill him next turn. This is so strange. I think we lost. Okay, at this point in time, my current line of reasoning is I don't think this hand can kill him on turn 7 while blocking down on his turn 6, right? If we look through the math, he's at 14. We have a snacks. We have a second snack, so it's like my Daring Poro gets there. Even if we draw a Poro cannon, we're not killing him on 7. And because we literally can't accelerate fast enough to kill him on 7 while blocking down on his 6, and we definitely can't kill him on 5. There's no, we're not even close. What that means is we have to survive his 8, which is fucking hard, and it means we probably lose, but that's the only way we win. Because of that, we have to maximize our units. So we can't play the Herder here because it removes a Poro from our deck. We need to maximize our odds of drawing the Poro here. Aurora Borealis isn't really that useful. We just go wide. And we can open attack with the Fearsome, which is kind of nice. Because he shouldn't really be able to block with Poppy. And he certainly can't play around snacks. And that also gives us the Plunder, which isn't useless. So we're just going to go wide and hope his hand doesn't have a lot of burn. The sad thing is, if his hand has burn, there's nothing we can do. All right, that's 1 away from my face. Nice. Well, thank you. Got another one of those? I'll take it. I'm not even kidding. Why not attack with a 2-2? Because, okay, guys, we're decelerating. We can't kill him on 7. His health doesn't matter that much. We have to kill him on 8. We have to maximize our odds of killing him on 8. Solo attacking means he has a chance of wasting a Pokey Stick like he just did. If I double attack, then he's never going to waste that Pokey Stick because he knows we have to be on snacks. Like, you have to be thinking about the clock. Like, the clock is all that matters. If we literally can't kill him on 7, which, don't get me wrong, there's some rare draws that could make that happen, but we can't kill him on 7. Because of that, we don't really care about dealing damage to him. We just want to survive, right? That's the most important mentality. Oh, hello, Radiant Poro. Nice to see you. Okay, we're good. You just burned 1 mana. Or 1 damage. All right. Whew. I think this was it. But think about the turn we were in. And we might still lose because, you know, if he fervors the Plunder Poro blocker... and then just, like, you know, decimates my face. Don't get me wrong. We do still lose the game if that happens. Station Archivist open next turn could help play around, like, a Fervor top deck. So I actually have to discard... Borealis, I guess. But, like, if you look at how this game plays out, we have a chance to win... just off of the realization that I had on turn 3, thinking 4 turns ahead that we couldn't close the game out on turn 7 because of his forced block down on his turn 6 attack, right? So we're thinking 4 turns ahead, and we realize we have to kill him on turn 9, which means we have to survive turn 8. And what that means is we have to just, like, slow play like crazy. And I mean, who knows? Maybe we're still dead to that Fervor. To play around Fervor, this guy could block Ziggs, who is the unfervorable one. We can threaten Poppy in a way.
You've gone and spoke them.
So if he uses like Pokey Stick to keep this alive, then he also doesn't get the Impact Strike. And we have to block down completely. So this is the only way that doesn't let him do the Fervor. We go down to 7, which means we're still dead to like double decimate stuff. And we don't have lethal next turn. Going down to 7 still means, I mean, the Ziggs is never going to level, but we have a wide board. I think, yeah, I actually just blocked the Ziggs here. I think this is correct. The deck runs 3 Fervor. Right now, that's my lose condition. These blocks are good. The 4-1 has to go into the Impact, because that's the one he wants to Pokey Stick, and I would save a point of health if he did. I don't think I need to save the lifesteal. I think 7 health is fine. The hands that have Fervor are the same hands that would make us need to save lifesteal, if you think about it like that, right? And because of that, those are the same hands that we're playing around by sacrificing our unit into the Fervor. The one difference is like Fervor could be top decked after this turn, and then it would be nice to have the lifesteal unit still. If I draw a Poro Cannon off the top or off of Archivist, then I clock him here, and we're not losing to any weird double decimate stuff. So now I use the Archivist, and we're playing around the Fervor top deck, even though we sacrificed lifesteal, because if this gives us 3 sisters, then we can entomb and beat hands of like Fervor Decimate if he tries to Fervor now. If he shows us Poro Cannon, then we literally just have lethal here. I mean, he's probably not just going to take the Fervor now. This one's actually a little sad. Yeah, we might lose this after all.
Nothing's more exciting than an unsolved mystery.
So in order to be able to do the scout attack, well, nothing deals 6 except for double Fervor. So taking this 1 damage is fine. But in order to be able to do the scout attack, we have to tap under Entomb, which means we start losing to double Fervor, Fervor Decimate. He has exactly enough mana to Fervor Decimate here. If I'm wide enough, his Ziggs is dealing 1, his Legion Grenadier is dealing 1. I do want to force this trade down. I can't let the Ziggs attack here or let his board attack. Ambush would have won. Yeah, Ambush or Port. There's so many things off the Archivist that would have won there. This is really sad. I think the patched Poro bot might have to be correct here and just hope he has like a board-based hand. Maybe he donkeys his Fervor. There's no reason he would have to do that. Okay, this is exactly the hand we were looking for. This is exactly it. The Poppy board. The one where the scout attack actually matters, because he does actually have to block one of these. And now we have the block down for him. The Ziggs isn't leveled, so it's only dealing 1 damage. So we're protected against Decimates now. And he has to block down both of these. We also have Fury of the North here. If he doesn't block down both of these, he loses. So there's a chance he greeds, and his position will probably force him to greed. Wow, he doesn't greed. That's super interesting. Okay. Yeah, it could easily be a Snacks or something. Like, I could be trolling, I guess. So we're always just going to go for a Fury here, and we're always just keeping the Poro bot alive. This could be a 3-3, or this could be a 4-2. I mean, the Poro bot's always going to have more value, right? I don't think there's a universe. Yeah. Yeah, none of this makes a difference. All right. So by forcing the Ziggs to block, we have 1 more point of health, which is nice. We're outside of Decimate range. This is the Fervor. So he's just looking for the last Fervor top deck. We have excellent odds at this point. Like, he needs to top deck a Decimate or a Fervor basically this turn to win. And I think we just put 3 Sisters on top of our deck, right? So even if he top decks second Fervor here, we're still good. Oh, he's not even going base. That is super interesting. Wow, that might actually be correct of him to do too. Because he knows he like, his Poppy is basically forcing my block. The open attack should always force the block. Oh god, he drew Mare, are you kidding me? Oh, what are the Mayor hits? What are the odds? Okay, so I go for Poppy now. Mayor has no attack. If he plays the Poro, then I have the Three Sisters to kill. I mean, I basically just has to thermo this now. Yeah, I have no choice. He could have the 6 mana. The 2 scary ones are at 7 mana. If it's the Scout Follower. Yeah, the Scout Follower is the only one that could be a reason to not thermo now. Literally the Scout Follower, the Scout 5/5.
Time to reveal our superior battle tactics. Striking their flank.
This is so silly. All right. I mean, I'm going down to 1 health then. There's no other way. So his top deck Fervor is always good.
I see an opening.
What a god. Yeah, what a god, right? All right, so he needs the top deck Fervor here. I'm open attacking. I think Three Sisters is on top. So 3 Sisters is on top. We knew that. So we open attack. We've got the Fury of the North. 80 LP Diamond. Give it to me, baby. Last game to Masters. No, no, no. Don't do this. Don't do this. Come on. It's literally Pokestick and Decimate, dude. Oh, man. My guy, you're killing me. Oh no, he actually does have it. Oh, me too, dude, me too. He knows he's literally just making us sweat here. Come on, man. Woo! Holy shit. That was a hell of a final game.